Hello everyone. In this session we will discuss the control statements or else structures. Your control statements or else control structures are the flow controls. Control flow or else your flow control. So by using this here we can perform any programmatic. So these are done by the whatever the user is giving the instructions and the statements and whatever you have the function calls, those will be executed. If I am giving the any instructions to this, so that can be executed, right? And also it is performing the evaluation. It is depends on the program. So it is performing the instruction statements and the function calls being executed or evaluated when your program is running. When the program is running. And also we can call this control statement is the flow control statements. These are the four types. We have the four types of control structures. Conditional control or else your branching statements. Also we can call this is the selection statements also. Second one, looping control statements or else we can call iteration statements. Third one we have jumping statements. So switch statement is also selection statement only, just I am writing the fourth type. Okay, so first we will discuss our conditional control statements. Conditional control statements are performing the when a condition raises into the our statements. Also we can call this is like your branching performance, like your decision making performance, decision making statements. So these are the four types: simple if else, nested if, and the if else if. Let's see the first one, that is the simple if. So here see, simple if means if the condition is the true, it can be displays the true statements. If the condition is false, the program automatically will be the termination process. Here we have the syntax, you can check. If condition, if in between the condition we can give the condition, and in this we are writing the some statements like your see out, whatever you have the statements that you can write into this. Okay, so if you need to be display whatever you need to be display, if it is big, if it is small, whatever. Okay, and next here we have the statement next. This is the optional only. Okay, if the condition is true, the condition statement means here the true statements will be displayed. If the condition false here, the statement next, if that is available, that will be displayed, or else here the program will be terminated. The program will be terminated. You can see first flow chart we have for this. So first here we have the start. First here we have the start and the variable declaration and the condition. And if this condition is the true, if this condition is the true statements will be displayed. If the condition is true, statements will be displayed. If the condition is false, automatically it will be terminates our programmatic. Automatically the program can be terminates. Suppose you can see here I am choosing the variables. Any variable you can choose, a comma b, anything you can choose, that is your choice. So for suppose here I am choosing the some condition, so here I will write, here we have the if condition, right? Just I am taking the I is equals to 1. Means here this is the initialization point. This is the initialization for the our variable declaration. Here I declared with the I is equals to 1. And I am taking the condition is like here I less than 5. I less than 5. So, and then we took the statements. So whatever it may be, so you just, if the whatever you give in the statement, if that is true for these conditions, that will execute our true statements. Whatever you wrote the statements, that will be executed by this. If that condition is false here, automatically it can be terminates our program. Our program. This is depends on the user, what they are giving. Or else you can see, suppose here in the variable declaration, instead of this here I am giving, in the variable declaration just I am giving the marks, student marks, like that, instead of that. So if I am giving the condition is like here, I am giving the condition marks greater than or equals to the 36. Okay, suppose here in the C out I am giving like here pass. In the C out I am giving the pass. When, if the marks is high, right, means here if the condition is satisfied only, it will be the Q, right? So in the statements I am giving the pass. Just you can see here I am giving the marks is like here 50. So then you can see 50 greater than or equal to 36, right? This is the true. So then here it can be shows the pass. Otherwise here I am giving the 30. The 30 greater than or equals to 36? No. So this is the true, this is the false. So then here the program will be automatically terminated the process. Like this here we can perform the simple if. In a simple if, just it can be performed only if the true statement is there, it can show the statements. Otherwise the program will be terminated. And next we have the second one, that is the if else. We have the second one, that is the if else. So in the if else, if the condition is true, it can be displays the true statements. Else means here otherwise or else. Okay. If the condition is false, it can be displays the false statements. If the condition is true only, it can be displays the true statements. Otherwise here it can be shows the false statements only. Like this. We have the flow chart for this. You can check. Suppose here you are taking the variable declaration age. For example, you are choosing the variable declaration is like your integer age type. In the condition, you are giving the age greater than or equals to the 18. Age greater than or equals to the 18. See here. If the condition is true only, it can be displays the true statements. If the condition is false, here it can be displays the false statements. Right? So then check here. So in the true statement, I am giving the major. In the true statements, I am giving the major. And in the false statement, I am giving the minor. Right? Then see. Suppose here I am entering the age is like here 20. Suppose I am entering the age is like here 20. 20 greater than or equals to 18. Yes, this is the true. So then automatically it can be displays the major. Suppose I am writing the 10. 10 greater than or equals to the 18. No, this is not true. Then it can be displays the minor. Right? So you can see here I am writing, and if it is true, it can be after the true statement it can be exist, and after that here it can be exit. Right? So for example, I am giving the age is like here 20. Yes, this is the true. So it can be displays the true statement, that is the major. And if it is 10, suppose I am giving the age is like 10. It is true? No, it is the false. Then it can be displays the minor false statement. Like this, here we can work the if else statement. And next here we have the nested if statement. So comparing to the if and if else, here nested if is the best. Why? Because here by using the nested if, here we can perform the multiple conditions. Like here we can perform in this here if and if else conditions. Both, it is a combination of if and if else conditions. In this here sometimes here you need to be perform the more than one condition, right? For that case, here we can use the nested if condition. If the condition 1 is true, you can move to the condition 2. If the condition 1 is false, you can directly go to the our statement 3. If the condition 1 is true, you can move to the condition 2. If this condition is true, you can move to the statement 1. If this condition is false, you can move to the statement 2. If this condition 1 is directly false, you can move to the our statement 3. You can move to the our statement 3. So once you can check here how we are performing this one. Right. This is our flow chart. We have here. See, this is the start and the variable declaration. You can check here. This is our process. If this condition 1 is the true, if this condition 1 is the true, it can be displays the condition 2. If this condition 2 is the true, it can be displays the statement 1. If this condition 2 is the false, the statement 2 will be displayed. If this condition 1 is directly false, the statement 3 will be displayed. So it will not display any other statement. Whatever the process is done by our compiler, that is only displayed here. So true only this one, false directly this one. It will not do any process like here. For example, if you are doing the biggest of 3 numbers like that, just here you can see if you are taking the ABC, variable declaration is the ABC. In the condition 1, if you are taking the if A greater than B. In the condition 1, if you are taking the A greater than B. Okay, so first we need to be take the values for that. First here, we need to be take the values for that. Without that here, we can, so here I am choosing the 10, 20, 30. A value is the 10, B value is the 20, C value is the 30. Okay, just check here. A greater than B. A is greater than B. See here. A 10 greater than B. Is this true? No. This is the false. This is the false. So directly it can be displayed our statement 3. 10 greater than 20 is the false statement. Then automatically it can be displayed our statement 3. So in the statement 3, I am giving the C is the big. C is big. In the statement 1, I am giving the A is big. So here I will write A is big. Okay. If this statement 2 means here B is big. So in the first only we got the false statement, right? So that's what your C is the big. Here also we have C is the 30. So then you can make C is the our value. So output will be C is the big value. So if the condition 1 is the true only, it will move to the another condition. Otherwise here like this it will be performed our nested if. And next here we have the fourth one, that is the if else if. We have the fourth one, if else if. In the nested if condition, if the condition is the true, we are moving to the conditions, right? But in the if else if the condition 1 is the false, we are moving to the condition 2. So just simply you can say this is the opposite for. This is the opposite for the nested if. If else if is the opposite for the our nested if. If the condition 1 is true, it can be displays the our statement 1, right? And if the condition If the condition 1 is false, it is moving the condition 2. And then after that, it can be displaced the statements. If the condition 2 is a false, it can be displaced the condition 3. And your condition 3 is true, it can be displaced the statement 3. This process can be done up to n times. N number of multiple conditions we can perform by the if else if. Just you can see this is our flow chart. So start variable declaration here. And if the condition 1 is the true, we can display our statements. If the condition 1 is the true, here you can display the statement 1. If the condition 1 is a false, you can move to the condition 2. If this is the true, condition 2 is the true, you can display the statement 2. If the condition 2 is the false, you can move to the condition 3. And if the condition 3 is a true, you can give the statement 3. So up to here, up to we are doing the statement n processes. Up to we are doing the statement n processes. Like this here we can perform our if else if statements. Like if you're finding the positive numbers or else your negative numbers, in the time also here we can work this one. So if else if is working the more than conditions, more than one condition in this also. Just simply you can say this is the opposite for the nested if. In that here condition is true, that is moving to the conditions. In this condition is false, it is moving to the condition, that is. And next here we have the second one, that is the looping control statements. Next here we can move to the looping control statements. Here looping or loops are used to execute a set of statements repeatedly until a particular condition is satisfied. So by using the conditional statements, just we are performing the whatever the given values only, right? Those are not performing the repeated manner like your iteration manner. In the looping control statements, we can work the process like your repetition process. So how much we need, like that here we can perform. These are the 3 types: while loop, do while loop, for loop. So first one, you can see the first one, while loop. The while loop is having the condition with the body of the loop statements. If the condition is true, it can be displays the body of the loop statements. If the condition is false, here automatically it can be terminates our execution of the program. Okay, so just you can see here, I am giving the start. This is our flow chart for this. Suppose here I am taking the variable declaration to this. For example, I am taking the variable declaration I is equals to 1. I am taking the variable, and the condition I am taking the I less than 5, or else you just take the I less than 3 also. Any other 10, 20, 30, that is your choice. In the body of the loop statements here, you can display the result. Okay. So after that you can exit the process. After that you can exit the process. For this I am choosing the another one, that is the I++ increment process. First it check the condition. I++. I++ means here this is the post increment. After that here we are performing this one, right? This is the post increment. After the executing of the information we are incrementing. First here it checks the condition 1 less than 5 or not. Is this 1 less than 5 is? Yes, the 1 less than 5 is the correct. So then here it can be true, means here it can shows the 1 is in the output. And next here it can be incremented by the I++. Now we have the I is equals to the 2 value. And then here 2 less than 5. Is this true? Yes. So now it can be it can be displays the value. The output is 2. And next it will be the incremented by +1. I is equals to 3. And 3 less than 5. Yes, this is the correct. So it can be displays the output will be the 3 now. And next it can be moved to the increment process. Now we have the I is equals to 4. And next here 4 less than 5. Yes, this is the true. Then it can be displays the 4 value. And next it can be incremented process. Now we have the I is equals to 5. So yes, it is checking the I 5 less than 5. Is this true? No. So then here it can be stops our process. So until the true condition only, it can be displays the our information until the true condition. So if the condition is the true, it can be moves to the our body of the loop statements. Otherwise here automatically it can be exit the our statements. Like this here we can perform the while loop. And next here we have the second one, that is the do while loop. Next here we have the do while loop. In the do while loop here, first here whatever you have the information that you have to be do the process. After that here you can check the condition. Comparing to the while here, do while loop is the opposite version. In the while loop we are first checking the condition, after that we are giving the output. But in the do while loop here, first we are executing the output, after that we are checking the condition. This is the opposite for that. So you can see here we have the flowchart for this. This is the flowchart: start, variable declaration, body of the loop statements, and the condition exit. So suppose here I am choosing the I is equals to 1 only, and condition here I have just I'm taking the up to 3 only, and if I less than 3, and increment process I'm taking the I plus plus here. Okay, this is also post increment. So first here it is not moving to the condition, whatever you have the one that is executed into the output. Executed into the output. After that here it can be checks the condition. 1 less than 3 is possible. 1 less than 3 is possible. Yes, 1 less than 3 means yes, it is correct. There is no problem. Then it can be moved to our increment process. I is equals to 2 we have now. So then it can be displayed the 2, after that it is the checking process. Now this is also true. And next here it is moving to the increment process. Now we have the I is equals to 3. It is executing the 3 value, and it is checking the 3 value. 3 less than 3 is possible? No. So then here you can, so automatically the program will be removes the 3 value from the output. We have the only 1 and 2 is the output. If you are taking the less than or equals to, the value will be the true and you can get the 3 value. So we can choose the I less than or equal to 3 also possible. That is our choice here. We can choose the any condition into this. And next we have the third one, that is the for loop. That is the for loop. Comparing to the while and the do while, here this is the best option to perform the all the programs. Why? Because here in the single line we are displaying the all the information. We are doing the initialization, condition, and the increment or decrement process in the single line only. But in the while and the do while loop here we are writing the statements for that. We are writing the some statements for that. In this just we are doing the everything in the single line only. How we can write here? Suppose if you are writing for I is equals to 1, instead of 1 from the 0 also you can start. Whatever the number you need you can start, that's your choice, but that is depends on the given condition. Okay, I less than 5 I'm giving the condition, and here I'm giving the increment process. I'm giving the increment process. So whatever you give in the body of the loop statement, that will be executed by this process. Just here comparing to the while and do while loop, this is the best option. Why? Because here the initialization, condition, increment or decrement can be done in the single line only. That is the best option for this. These are the our loop statements. And next here we have the third one, that is a jumping statement. Let's move to the jumping statement. The jumping statements are used to transfer the our control from one location to the another location. So at present here we are in the one place, means here we are moving, means that we are calling like here one location to another location I move like, right? So same like that only, if we need to be change the one statement to another way. Okay, if you need to be change the one statement from one location to another location, we can use the jumping statements. These are the 4 types we have. So go to, break, continue, and the return. So first one here we have the go to statement. So this go to statement can be done in the form of like your it is also like your branch unconditionally performing the point to another in the programming manner. Just here this go to is a branching structure. It can be moves the control in the form of a forward go to and the backward go to. Means here forward direction and the backward direction type. So this can be done in the form of label go to condition. So by the dependent of the labels here. Just you can check here. It will be having the forward go to and the backward go to. If you are moving the forward go to, okay. So if you are moving the forward go to, the statements get omitted. Why? Because here after the first statement the go to statement is executed. This go to statement is moving to the our control label now, and then it can be moved to the statement 3 forward, okay. And if you're using the backward go to, back means here it is moving the back type. In this here after the first statement it can be execute the statement 2. After that it is moving to the our go to statement, and it can be moved to the our controlled label statement. So that is a back type, right? So it is moving the backwards. First we need to be display the go to, after that label. So these two types here we can do the our go to statement. Go to means here just nothing is said, where we need to be go. So that is defined by this. And next we have the second one, that is the break. Break means here it can be stops our process. It can be stops our process. Break means if you're doing any program, sometimes you need to be break that one, right? Means for the stopping of process. In that time you can use the break statement. If you are using the break statement, it stops the process now. It stops the process now. So like this here we can give the programmatic for these statements and the conditions. At last here you can give the break. If you are giving a break, it stops the condition from that only. And next here we have the third one, that is the continue statement. This continue statement is performing the after giving of the break or else here before. So the condition will be continuously performing the our program. And the continue after also here we can give the break. So some after we can give the break point, that one, right? So like that here we can go. And last here we have the return statement. After writing of the program, always we are writing the return. It may be the return 0 expression, right? So it may be the return 0, return variable, or else just we can write the return, right? So just here it can be works here returns whatever the you are giving the program. Like the statement can terminate the execution of the function, and it returns the control to the our calling functions type. So suppose if you have any function callings like that, so in the execution time here it can be resumes the our calling function at the point of immediately. And this return statement mostly we are using in the calling functions. Like that here we can use our return statements. And next here last one we have the switch statement. This is also our like your selection statement only. This switch statement comparing to the our if else, nested if, and if else if, this is the best option. Why? Because here by the switch statement we can identify number of means we can perform the multiple conditions into this. Multiple conditions means multiple conditional control statements. This switch statement can compare the several statements with a single switch expression. It can be performs the with a single switch expression. You can see here we have the switch expression. First we need to be give the expression into that, and it is having the some case labels. Statement 1, after that here I am giving the break, okay, stop the process for the case label 1. And case label 2, statement 2, and break. It stops the process for the case 2. And next here, case label n means here up to n times here we can perform these labels. If this expression is true, only we are performing these labels. If the expression is false, here you can display our default statement. Default statement can be displayed if the expression is false. If the expression is true, you can display these statements. If the expression is false, here you can display the default statement. True means here you can display the statements whatever you have. You can display, if that is false means here you can display our default statements. Just you can see what we have the flow chart for this. This is the flow chart for this. First you have the case 1. If the case 1 is true, it is moving to the, if the case 1 is true, if the case 1 is true, it is moving to the case action, and after that here break. If the case 1 is false, it is moving to the case action. This is true. If this is true, only it can be displays the information and then break. If it is false, it is moving to the case n, and it is true, it can be displays our case actions. And if it is false, here it is moving to our default. Okay. So how means here, for example, you can see, suppose if you are trying to know weekdays. Okay. So 0 to 6 we have the weekdays, right? 0 to 6 days we have the weekdays. 0 means your Sunday, 1 means Monday, like that here. In the label 1 I am giving the, suppose in the label 1 I am giving the case 0. So in the case 0, after that I am writing here statement 1, that is the Sunday, suppose. Okay. In the output section I am giving the Sunday, and after that you can give the break point. Like that here you can continue up to how many we have, up to 6 you can continue. So Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, like that you can continue up to the Saturday. If I am giving the expression, suppose I am giving the expression into this, suppose I enter the expression is like here 3. So in the 3 what we have, that will be displayed. 0 means Sunday, 1 means Monday, 2 means Tuesday, 3 means Wednesday. So the Wednesday will be displayed in the output. We are entering the expression is like your number, but we are getting the output is like your whatever you give in the statement, that is in the form of characters, means your string format, right? So if you are entered 7, if you are entered the 7, we have up to 0 to 6. We have up to 0 to 6. If you enter the 7, how it will be looks? No. So that's what here the program will be going to the false statement, like your default. It will be displayed like here the weekdays are not matched. Whatever you return the statement, that will be executed. Suppose here the weekdays are not matched. Like that here we can perform the switch statement. These are our control statements in our C++. Thank you for the watching. If you like the video, subscribe to my channel.